Wait, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How your day today?
My day is good. We got soccer today. My kids have their final game of the season. So my daughters is at 2, my sons is at 3, and hopefully they both win.
Okay. We're gonna say they winners today, okay?
They win and put it out there already.
Well, thank you so much for taking out time to have a conversation with me today. Tell me about Dallas Jackson. Tell me who the director, writer, Jackson.
I'm from Colorado, born and raised. I left when I was 17 to go to Howard.
Mhm.
Um, always, ambitious, always trying to, find a way to get things done. Even when I was in high school, I had a job since I was 12 or 13, and always kind of took care of myself, only child, and went to Howard and wanted to major in TV and film because of my heroes, Spike Lee and Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayne and James Cameron and George Lucas. All those guys influenced me, and got out of Howard, uh, much more self-confident, much more empowered, and with connections, into a Black community of educated folks that I didn't know before I got there. So I still have friends from Howard to this day. I still go back to homecoming. My first writing partner that I sold my first three screenplays to 20th Century Fox went to Howard with me.
Mhm.
Um, my first manager, Topper Carew, who created Martin Show and managed Martin Lawrence, went to Howard. And so that's played a big part in my life as well and in my career. And one of my best friends to this day is still Marlon Wayans, who we met freshman year, Drew Hall at Howard.
Mhm.
So
So how
that's
did
who
how
I
did
am.
you how did you land the job of being a director and a writer?
Well, I didn't land the job, if you will, but it was from years of work and dedication. If you have a dream and a goal, you have to put in the consistent time to get to that dream and goal.
Mhm.
And so over the years, I had put in the time and the consistency of writing every day, of writing screenplays every day, of doing at least 3 or 4 pages a day, telling myself I'm gonna dedicate 2 to 3 hours a day to writing and getting better at writing and selling screenplays to studios facilitated the opportunity to for me to meet people and get mentors. One of my mentors is Master P, who we did a movie together called Uncle P.
Mhm.
One of my mentors is the RZA, and the RZA and I did a movie called Thriller. That was the first opportunity I got to direct. Master P gave me my first opportunity to produce and write, and John Singleton gave me my first opportunity to executive produce a TV show, which gave me a master class in directing by being able to follow him around and watch him direct. So putting in the years and the consistency of the work landed me the opportunity to be able to direct my own script in 2017.
So how did you come up with this amazing movie, The System?
The system um, came to me from a producer who had sent me an article about prisoners being made to fight to the death in a private prison
Mhm.
in New York. And I just was fascinated by the idea that these private prisons are driven by profit, and the profit is the prison itself and the bodies inside. And where do you, if you're building more prisons than schools and colleges in this country, where do you get the bodies to fill these prisons? Because corporations regulate private prisons now, not the state. State used to regulate the prison system. Now it's corporations, and the corporations' main goal is to turn a profit. So you can't turn a profit in a prison if you don't have bodies inside. So they go get those bodies from our communities, from Black and brown communities. So the idea for the movie came from this real life system that we have in place, which is the private prison system. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the idea of having somebody like Tyrese's character go undercover inside and pull back the curtain on what's going on in this particular prison in our movie, which was shot in a real prison in Mississippi.
So how did you come up with such an amazing cast like Tyrese, Gibson, Terrence, Howard? How did you come up with such an amazing cast?
Well, we paid them, but you know, Tyrese and I were friends from our mentor, John Singleton, who wanted us to work together before he passed, and made that introduction and facilitated that. And Tyrese and I had been friends and had been talking about this project. Mm-hmm. And after John passed, we decided we were going to work together and do it in dedication to him, mm-hmm. because he had always liked the script and always thought Tyrese would be amazing in the lead. And Terrence is the same, you know, we have the fraternity from John, you know, Terrence did Hustle and Flow together with John Singleton. He did Four Brothers with John Singleton and Tyrese. So they had a bond there. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I got to executive produce Rebel, a TV show with John Singleton. So Tyrese and Terrence and I have this bond of John. And so when Terrence got the script and we were about to shoot literally the next day, one of our actors had fell out and we needed another lead. Mm-hmm. Terrence found out, Tyrese called him. We made him the offer. He swooped right in and said, "Oh, we're doing this for John." Mm-hmm. And so that's how we bonded over this movie. And on top of the fact that they got paid.
So the movie's in theater. So how is it going? Did it do well for you? You know.
Well, yeah, it's now on demand. It's also on Amazon Prime. It's also on Apple. Dropped digitally November 4th. Mm-hmm. It came out in theaters October 28th and select theaters. So it's an independent movie. It's not a studio movie, meaning like Universal or Paramount didn't put it out. This is an independent action movie. Mm-hmm. And so we did the theatrical 10 days to get awareness out there so people can know it's coming to your homes.
Right. So what did you want the audience to take from that movie? You know, what is that?
The message, there's several messages in the movie. One primary message is that this private prison system is not working. It's corrupt. There's a lot of things going on in the penal system, particularly the private prison system, that is not humane for our people. And that there isn't a system in place for Black and brown people to get entrapped in this because they need those bodies. And if you make the wrong move, you could wind up in this system simply for profit. So that was one message. Another message is, you know, the idea of having a brother go inside and recognize that there's a problem in these prison systems and work to burn it down, mm-hmm. work to figure out a way to dismantle it. And that's where Terrence comes in because he is the mentor to Tyrese. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just having the situation of two Black men working together to destroy this corrupt system is something that just says volumes about what we can do when we decide to do something together. So there's a few messages in the movie, and hopefully, even though it's a little bit over the top, we shine a light on a few things, including that these men inside are still human beings.
But why the having to do the message through drugs or through fighting? Why having to do it that way? You know, having to tell the story in order to find the corruption that way.
You mean the drugs in terms of the drug operation that was happening in the prison?
Exactly. Yes.
Because that was a real situation I discovered that happened in the private prison in Texas.
Okay.
There was also a private prison in Texas that had 4 connecting private prisons that all had fighters fighting against each other. So these are real incidences in real life that we pulled from to tell this movie. And, you know, there comes a saying that says, sometimes you can't make this up. And these are things that are happening that we can't make up. We're just pulling the curtain back on it. So that was the reasoning for telling this story, because these things are really happening and people should know about it.
Okay. What advice would you give to someone who's in the industry like yourself, as being a director or the writers, you know, who is trying to get into the industry as being a director or a writer?
Do the work. You have to be consistent with your dream. If you want to be a writer, get the final draft screenwriting program. Get this book called The Writer's Journey that I keep right here with me at all times. And dedicate yourself to your dream of writing 2 to 3 hours a day. Dedicate yourself to your dream of being a director 2 to 3 hours a day. People go to work for 8 hours a day. People sit on the couch for 4 hours a day watching TV. People go on Instagram for 3 hours a day, but they don't take the time to be consistent with their dream for 2 to 3 hours a day. And if you do that for 2 to 3 years, you will see movement. You know, there is no magic get put on button. The magic happens when you put the work in. And so I would say to anybody, start being consistent with your dream and take the time out to plot every day on what that dream is and making it happen.
So what's next for you, Dallas? What's your next project?
My next project is an action movie that we're actually going to do with Maurice Crump, who plays Freeway in the system. He's the bad guy that turns good at the end. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but he's a real martial artist. And this is our second movie together. We did a movie called Welcome to Sudden Death that's on Netflix right now, starring Michael Jai White. Maurice was the bad guy in that. And so we're going to do a movie with him as the star. And RZA and I are producing that together. RZA will play a role in that movie as well. And it's basically like a martial arts post-apocalyptic road warrior type movie. So we'll be shooting that in March, probably in London.
Okay, all right. So we need to look for that, right?
Yes, we'll get that in the can and hopefully drop by the end of 2023 around this time.
All right. So what you got planned for the holidays? Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up, New Year.
I'm just chilling, man. You know, I've been moving around a lot this year, so I'm just gonna be chilling with the family. I just came back from DC a couple weeks ago, premiering the movie and showing it to Howard at Howard's homecoming.
Okay.
I was in Jamaica earlier this year. I was in Colombia this year, so I'm just chilling and enjoying this family time and writing.
So we should look forward for a Jamaican movie coming from you.
I think so. They want me to come down there and shoot something. I went out there to write on a TV project and made some good friends. I'd love to shoot a movie in Jamaica.
I think that would be good. I'm gonna give you that one. Okay, so work on that one. Give us a movie from Jamaica.
Hey, I loved it there. And look, we was in Ocho Rios, and they the writer of James Bond wrote all of his books there in this particular place I was in. And I could see why, because it was beautiful. So yeah, any excuse I could go to Jamaica and make a movie, I'm gonna do that for you.
Okay, so out of all the movies you have directed and put your writing into, what's your favorite one? Which one your best? Which one would you say pull for the holidays and go on demand and pull it out and watch this movie?
Well, they're all my babies. You know, it's like saying which baby is your favorite. But I will say, if you're home for the holidays, you're gonna enjoy the system. You're gonna get some medicine with the sugar. It's an action movie with a message. So you want a little action, you want a little message, you want some martial arts, go check out the system. on Apple or Amazon or on demand. And I got another movie called Welcome to Sudden Death on Netflix if you want an action comedy with Michael Jai White and Gary Owen. And that one is a lot of fun. It's like a Rush Hour kind of movie. And that's on Netflix. So Welcome to Sudden Death is on Netflix. And go check out my new movie, The System, on right now on demand, Apple and Amazon.
Wow, thank you so much for taking out the time to have a conversation with me. You just heard it from Dallas Jackson. Watch all his movies. The holidays is coming. So thank you so much for branching out, okay?
Thank you. You take care and congrats on your show. And thank you for having me.